Hello and welcome to PPC Live, the podcast, formerly known as PPC Chat Roundup. My name is Anu, the founder of PPC Live. And if you're used to hearing from PPC experts about how to ensure that we're keeping up with the ever-changing landscape, don't worry, you are still in the right place. But instead of relaying what the PPC experts are saying, I'm going to be bringing the PPC experts to you. Every week, I'm going to be speaking to a different PPC experts about one of their biggest F-ups that they've made in their career, what they learned from it, and how they turn things around. We never leave on a defeated note. Today, I've got the pleasure of speaking to industry veteran who's been in the industry for 19 years, Aaron Levy, who is the brand evangelist at Optimizer. And he talks about one of, the early days of personal branding and where you'd write a tweet or write a LinkedIn post to share about some, latest update you've heard of, posting about something new that you've discovered how to do in Google Ads or Microsoft. And yeah, he came across an announcement that was emailed to his company, emailed to someone in his company, and he was able to see it as well. And yeah, he got excited with that update. It's very interesting to actually talk about what that update was. So I'm not going to ruin the surprise for you, but it's such a great lesson about how to think about what you do when you're posting, what it means to be a PPC expert, what it means to be a PPC influencer, and what that word really means, and why we should really be caring about what we're posting. It's a great learning curve for a lot of us, for I'm sure all the listeners that will have. And we also talk about loads about errors that we make in the world of AI, how we really should be approaching the latest updates that we see today. So yeah, it was a very great and exciting talk. And it was hard to rein us in, but we did. And you'll see why when you start listening. All right, let's go speak to Aaron. Hello, welcome, Aaron. Welcome to PPC Live, the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It took us far too long to get this scheduled, but I'm glad that we have it.
Far too long. I totally agree. We had a fantastic conversation at SMX Advanced in June. It was a really lovely reunion there, seeing loads of fun folks from past years, from pre-COVID years. It was really nice to have that reunion. And yeah, let me stop talking. Our listeners here are going, Anna, who's Aaron? What are you guys on about? Anyway, let's introduce you to Aaron. Aaron is someone who's been in the industry for many years. How long have you been now? I don't want to close to 20, I'd imagine.
I have been probably 19. Almost half of my life, not quite yet, but we're getting there.
We're getting
Took quite a while.
Right? Yeah,
I've been in the industry since you could buy radio ads on Google.
Yeah, interesting, very interesting. So that means he has overseen about a few billion in media spend. He spent his time on pretty much every channel online, from media buying and email campaigns to affiliates and beyond. Most of his background is SEM, but he says that he'd be a terrible marketer if that's all he looked at. I'm getting this from your LinkedIn. This is from your words. I am not paraphrasing.
It is, and that bio is so old, but it still holds true. It's funny, I mean, especially in our world of AI and automation and whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, my search campaigns went wrong. But what happened? I didn't change anything." Like, the world changed. What happened in the world to make your campaigns change? Did your product get a bad review? Did it come up in the news? Did someone else have one? Maybe that's why your volume went down.
Right. Stop being also tunnel vision with what you're actually looking at. That's what frustrates me as well.
It's a little shticky, but I always like to say that no one wakes up and decides to have a super googly day.
No.
Like, something happens before they search and something happens after. So if we're only looking at the middle, we're not being very good marketers.
No. Couldn't say better. Absolutely. Aaron's also very much a frequent speaker at conferences worldwide. Usually all year round is, I'm surprised we didn't snap you up for SMX Advanced for speaking slot, but I'm sure we'll correct that for next year. So yeah, very much a student of life, I feel like Aaron is, but you've also given some fantastic keynotes. Like, I remember, I will never forget SMX Advanced keynote that I moderated you on. Is it a year last year?
Year and a half ago.
Yeah. And it was just fantastic. It just spoke to those key things about what we should be looking at, how we should be thinking about the industry as a whole. And we can find a recording. I'll try and actually link to it. So
that one was particularly fun too, because I took a hiatus between my time I was an agency guy for years and years and years. Worked at Tenuity. We had a very well-meaning breakup. And then literally my first day of fun employment, I got invited to keynote SMX. And I'm like, okay,
Okay.
but I have nothing. So I'm just going to talk about ideas.
Yeah.
I am still annoyed because they wouldn't let me introduce myself like George Costanza from Seinfeld. Say, hi, I'm
Okay.
Aaron. I'm unemployed. I live with my parents. But anyway, it was fun. It
It
was
works
fun to
out.
take kind of an outsider view to
Yeah.
speaking. So that one was very philosophical,
Lovely.
which was fun.
Amazing. Yeah. And whilst Aaron is not learning about the marketing life, he is obsessed with golfing. What's with your obsession with golfing? How did it start?
I started playing, gosh, when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Wow.
I mean, you think about it, like, what's everyone's favorite thing to do when they're a little kid is play outside. And so
Yeah.
I grew up playing on this little teeny tiny 9-hole course in Ithaca, New York, where I grew up. And it was the type of place where mom would drop me off in the morning and then pick me up at night. And so I was quote unquote raised by the old guys that hung around there, the
Okay.
cigar chomping Cuban guy that would always hang out at the front. It was just a cool way to meet a bunch of different people.
And your mom just left you there all day. Should we be worried? Like, what is that? Is that what mothers do? They're like, I can't be bothered. Go play with some old guys in a park somewhere.
Well, she had stuff to do that I didn't want to do, and that was a place that she knew that I felt comfortable there and that those people were comfortable with me.
Yeah.
It's funny though, if you tell someone that you're going hiking every day, people are like, "Oh, that's amazing. Good for you. You're walking 5 miles every day." If you hit something with a stick every 200 yards, then you're a crazy person all of a sudden. I don't get it.
No, it's fun. Where is the most interesting place that you've gone to playing golf?
I really love finding golf courses. Golf, and a brief little history lesson because I like golf history. Golf was initially just shepherds who were bored, and the reason that sand traps exist is because that's what sheep would dig a hole to stay out from the wind. And so like golf was initially found. So I grew up playing on a little teeny tiny 9-hole municipal course. Like it sort of had grass. And I love that. Those
Yeah.
places need to exist. So
Yeah.
I go to Scotland every year now, and whenever I go there, yes, there's some big name courses, but I also am like, ooh, what's that one? And you just
Yeah.
pay in the bar or you leave 10 pounds in a little box in the front. And I love that. That's what golf is supposed to be, not perfectly manicured, spray painted green stuff, which don't get me wrong, I love that stuff too.
Yeah.
But I love just
Yeah.
kind of finding it because it was initially
Yeah.
just played in a field.
That's really good, cool to know because honestly, I always see golf as a bit of a posh, it's for like the rich and like, the highbrow folks that play golf. And to think that was just discovered by shepherds. I love that. Love
It
that
was
new
started by
knowledge.
shepherds on land they couldn't farm on because it was all
Yeah.
sandy and salty.
Yeah, yeah, lovely. So yeah, it's not there's no snobbishness about golf. It's open to everybody. Although with all the new ways of doing it and like every player has like 10 different clubs, my brain is like, just give me one. Which is the one that works? I just want to hit a ball with a stick. Why do I need 10 different types?
Well,
That's
it's
what gets
funny
me.
as you say, I play golf year round. So my country club, yes, I know, I'm a little posh too.
Oh,
But we do a 1-1-1 tournament. So on New Year's Day, so 1/1,
sure.
we have a one club challenge.
Okay.
So you have to play the whole course with one club on 1-1.
Okay.
And it's very
Nice.
fun and very cold. And our pro drives around with a hot toddy wagon, so you can have some nice warm drinks.
Nice, nice. Oh, bless. That's nice. That sounds actually like, yeah, very lovely and
See, this
interesting.
is
And
way more.
maybe,
Yeah, golf doesn't have to be
yeah,
all snooty and stuff. It can be fun and stupid too.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, for people listening who are thinking like, golf might be the way to go if you like outdoor stuff.
Plus, you get really hilarious tan lines that stop right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Because it's all about like the short sleeve, like kind of shirts. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's get into the crux of this. That's we could. I know you could speak about golf all day long, but we're here to talk about f-ups that we've learned from. Never leaving things on a defeated note because you still succeed. You've just joined the fantastic guys at Optimizer, and really looking forward to the work and that's going to be produced out of that. But yeah, let's talk about some of the earlier years, and some of the things that you've learned from, some of the things that made you go, oh my God. And I know not everybody would be comfortable to do this. So again, thank you so much for being on this podcast to share this story.
I love that you're doing this. I love that you're, when you make a mistake, it feels like the end of the world for that
Yes.
week or that month. And all of the ones that I listen to have been people just laughing at their mistakes. And like,
Yeah.
that was the worst week ever, but then it was over, and then I learned from it, and I didn't do it again.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
it
Yeah.
was fun though when I was going through and listening and everything, and you and I chatted a bit before this. I've made those same paid search
Yeah.
mistakes before. Like I've set the budget with an extra zero on it. I've
Mm-hmm.
we were talking before, I uploaded locations as keywords and bid on the word Tennessee for 3 days,
Yeah.
which, whoops. A
God.
lot of impressions, not very many clicks.
Yeah, no, we've got those, but you've got a really interesting one for
I
us
have a really
today.
fun one.
So yeah, where you get into the crosshairs of Google. So yeah, Erin, what's the F up that you'd like to share with us today? Oh, I'm looking forward to this one.
Well, we didn't say what I do for work now. So I'm an evangelist at Optimizer. So this actually, it was probably 10 years ago, and it's helped me tremendously since then in my role now, which is to basically be a public facing figure, both for clients and for the company. Learning how to watch my mouth and when to share things, when not to, and to check if things are meant for me. So I leaked a Google alpha,
Ugh.
not on purpose, and it wasn't something that was sent to like Aaron at Tenuity. We have this crazy secret thing that we're
Yeah.
going to test out. Would you be interested in? No. So when we would get access to our client accounts, potential clients' accounts for audits for sales, I think a lot of companies use this. We would set up a fake email of some kind. So it would be like, I don't know, client name marketing at gmail.com. Great. So I had a million of these things, and I would get them all routed back to my own Gmail just so I wouldn't lose anything. And so there was one where I got an email where I don't remember the exact title of the email. I'll see if I can find it so you can share it later because the post is still live. But it was for a select set of test accounts. I think it was under 1% that were testing auto applied recommendations before those existed. And so the crux of the email was basically like, hey, Google's going to start making some changes to your account for you on your behalf. And the bottom line of the email had some disclaimer from them, like, we can't guarantee these changes will make improvements. And so I just got it in my email when I was sitting there waiting for the subway to go to the office, or the tube for our UK audiences. Took a little screenshot, put it on LinkedIn, made a little snarky thing. It wasn't the worst thing that I've ever said publicly, but it was snarky. It was something
Yeah.
like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Google's going to start changing our account. Will they make things better?
You have no idea.
No, but there'll be changes. Stuff will happen. So I put a little snarky post on LinkedIn, get on the subway. If you've ever been to Philadelphia where I live, you know the subway is that's right, you have. You would know that our public transportation is the worst and is getting worse. So I got stuck on the subway for a little while, got to the office like an hour later, looked at my phone and had hundreds, if not thousands of notifications. I was like, uh-oh.
No.
Oh, what happened? And then a couple of voicemails from our CEO, our president. I'm like,
Wow.
oh God,
Wow.
what did I do? Oh no.
And I'm guessing, what's the communication like with your CEO on regular weeks? Is he reaching out to anyone?
We were friendly. It wasn't the weirdest thing in the world. I mean, I started when I still have my swag. They'll yell at me for this on my elite SEM thing. So when I started, the company was very, very small. So I was close to him. So it wasn't out of the ordinary for him to reach out. It was out of the ordinary for him to leave a voicemail.
Right. Okay.
And so that's when I was like,
that was a sign.
Boy. And the voicemail just basically said, call me. And I'm like, that can't be good.
No.
So for anyone who's an agency person, you know that you have pretty strict non-disclosure agreements with Google, NDAs. So unless it's something that Google has written about already, you're generally not supposed to share it if you hear it from them and it's in alpha or beta format.
Yeah.
So that was what they initially thought. So they thought that I had shared a document that they had sent us and like it was a big violation of the NDA. And I was like, no.
No.
This was sent to like a personal email from an account that wasn't supposed to get it based on how they had said it.
Yeah.
So this little snarky thing that I just posted in a rush to be first and be like, oh, I don't think anyone's seen this before, then got the attention of the C-suite at Google.
Of course.
And so I don't know that it was all the way up to the CMO level, but it was their second in command, which I guess would have been an SVP, was basically calling Zach, our president, and Dalton, our CMO, being like, what is this? You have to take this down. How did you get this? This is a huge violation of your NDA, whatever. And so it was not a fun couple of days. So Google was furious at us. Zach, bless his heart, I was like, so are you mad? His response was, no, it gave me a chance to yell at Google and be right.
Okay.
Because fundamentally it was a mistake on Google's part. They weren't supposed to send this to anyone who was an agency MCC. It was supposed to just be smaller accounts.
Okay.
And my tone wasn't that bad.
No.
It was enough that it got to be a discussion point about being good partners, which
Yeah.
was lesson one that I learned.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the worst thing in the world that I could have said. I could have said way worse things like, oh, like Google's just going to spend our money again. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I know a lot of our
Which
peers
people
will do.
We do that.
Which,
Yep.
if anyone has seen me speak or spoken with me, or if anyone was at the PPC live that we did in Boston.
Yeah, amazing.
Everyone knows that I will not necessarily jump to Google's defense, but I will assume positive or neutral intent.
Yeah.
And that was a lesson that I took from this that our CMO gave us. Back to the story, because I went a little segue, a little circular. Sticking with the story. So the first day was okay. Like I had a couple of meetings with our C-suite who had meetings with Google C-suite. And I was like, do I take it down? Like, what do I do? And they were like, leave it for now. Let's just wait. And basically all parties concluded that like, look, it's out there already. Like there's no sense in taking it down. What I didn't realize was how far out there it was. Yeah. So it got something like 70, 80,000 impressions on LinkedIn in a day, which I've never done since. It got picked up by CNET. It got picked up by Ad Age. It got picked up by Adweek. Someone big reached out for a quote that I didn't do anything on. I want to say it was Wall Street Journal, but I can't remember exactly. All the big ones. All of them got a hold of it. And so my stupid little LinkedIn post or stupid little tweet or whichever one it was in CNET, was in Ad Age, was in Adweek, was everywhere.
Yeah.
To a degree, mission accomplished. Yay, got my name out there.
Also got the company's name out there. I showed them like, hey, yeah, make sure, they court you as someone who works at Tenuity. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly. So, hey, sometimes a happy mistake. I then had some more relationships with some PR people, which was good.
Yeah.
The bad news, though, was that then they were all starting to come to me for hot takes.
Of course. And you're like, dude, yeah, I had one hot take because of it. An email. Do you think that happens every day? No.
Yeah. Do you think no, I can't share secret sauce with you. No, I'm not going to hear no, I'm not going to share with you what I'm hearing. Get to that story later.
Yeah.
So those kind of died off pretty quickly. I wound up doing a bunch more PR stuff later. But going back, I think that's the biggest lesson that I learned from this is, number one, tone. Like, remember that as I mentioned before, when we're thinking of Google and thinking of all the like, oh, they're just trying to kill agencies and take all of our money. No, they're not. No. I mean, they're working with agencies. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes those agencies are a barrier and they go around us and we don't like it, but it's their client as much as ours, and we're being bad partners or not being collaborative, whatever it might be. But they're always trying to make performance better in some way, shape, or form, because better performance for advertisers makes Google better. Auto-applied recommendations.
Sorry, I know we're talking about your effort, but honestly, my own stance is like Google, which is not a bad stance. Every business goes out to make money for themselves, to increase their revenue, to increase money in the bank for their board members. Advertisers are not their board members, right? Like we are like,
no.
And we are not actually technically the people who are actually giving money. We're trying to help clients, spend as efficiently as possible. So maybe not actually even spend as much on Google as possible. And I'll actually, so I'd say some of the best advertisers will get a client, come to them and be like, oh, this is where I'm at. I've not done any, outdoor. I've not done any brand awareness. Should I do PPC? And your answer should be no. Your answer should be no. You need to do X, Y, Z before you even come to PPC. So we're the ones sometimes, yes, that will be the barrier. And of course, Google are like, well, we don't care who comes, even if you've not done anything. We just want the money, and if we can get that, we'll get it. So.
Well, therein lay the tough dichotomy, because of course Google's focused on spend growth, and that's feedback that I've given Google before, more diplomatically than I did in this instance.
Nice.
I'm like, look, my challenge with all this documentation around AI, enhanced whatever, smart everything.
Yeah.
Everything is about spending more and getting more conversions at the same cost, and nothing is about getting more efficient with the same money that you spend.
Yeah.
I get it. Like you said, Google wants to make money. They talk about CPC growth and spend growth on their earnings calls. They want this stuff to go up. It would be very short-sighted of them just to turn the faucet up a little bit more and get some more money out of advertisers, and then them realize that it's not efficient. I'm just going to go to Meta or TikTok now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
said, a lot of account managers are that short-sighted because that's how they're bonused,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is a challenge. But
Yeah.
in general, yes, Google's focus is on getting people to spend more money.
Yeah.
Way for people to spend more money is to have their advertising work better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in
It
the
makes sense.
theory, we're going towards the same North Star. It's just the execution is not always so good, especially when
No.
people get quarterly bonuses based on how many people they get to sign up for YouTube or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, and I just feel like just more recently it's just getting so blatant. It's not even like I feel before they'd even try to be a little bit very more subtle about it. Now they're like, oh yeah, you just need to spend more. And anything if you spend more, more stuff will happen. Like, but it might be more stuff of the bad stuff. But like, yeah, but you need to like the algorithm. And now it's all about the algorithm so that you can train the algorithm. And for a while it might not be great. And so just train the algorithm, it'll get better. But when? We don't know. Learning period.
Google tuition, like you have to pay for it to learn stuff that you already know. It's like those classes that you took at university. Like, I don't need entry-level math again. I don't need to
No.
take this. Why do I have to take this? Like, well, it's
Yeah.
required.
Yeah.
But that is actually an interesting segue because this is an opportunity for me to show how I've learned to work on tone. What has happened at Google the last couple of years that hadn't happened very much historically?
Well, like updates and changes and things.
Layoffs.
Layoffs, yeah, yeah, there's that as well.
What was affected for, I believe, the first time these last couple of years? The ad sales team.
Yeah.
So obviously, yes, Google had a couple of down quarters, which they don't usually do either. So in turn, there's more pressure on salespeople who are worried about getting fired, which
Mm,
means that they are going to push harder to hit their objectives in the short term so they don't get cut in the next round of layoffs. So I understand why some of those things have happened.
yeah,
I don't agree with them, and it's kind of our job to, you know,
my fair.
weed through it. But frankly, it's a numbers game. I would assume for a lot of those account managers, they're trying to push all those signups so they don't get fired.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Absolutely do get it. We've gone on a bit
We
of this
have gone
debate.
all over the place.
We'll come back to the story and tease out this experience of you, yeah, tweeting, trying to make a name for yourself, let's call it.
So
And
I did too good of a job.
you did too
So
good of a job.
what I then found out, gosh, I can't remember his name. He was an early guy from Hannapin, the PPC hero folks, who then went to work at Google. It became part of his job to watch me tweet.
Wow. Oh wow.
So,
Okay, that's
so I did too good of a job. So there was someone at Google watching literally every single thing I said. There was someone at Microsoft watching literally single thing I said. The press was watching every single thing that
of
I
course.
said. Somehow I got away with still being able to run my mouth. Like I didn't have
Okay.
to get my tweets approved or anything like that.
Okay, good.
But I did realize that there was a magnifying glass on me and a telescope and binoculars and probably a satellite. And so I have to be really cautious about what I share because everything is going to get attention.
Yeah.
B, I have to be really cautious about the tone that I share it in because, yes, Google can be a challenge to work with, but if you're a good-sized agency and a good-sized Google partner, Google also kind of scratches your back too. They
Yeah.
will give you benefits. They will help cover some marketing stuff. They might pay
Mhm.
for events. Who knows? And so I don't want to burn that bridge.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so I learned to be very, I'll say, purposeful.
Mm.
Those who have watched me tweet or speak over the years, yes, I still have my same degree of snark. Most of my snark is inward facing. I am snarky about myself because no one will get offended if I talk crap about me. But externally, I tend to be pretty neutral. I tend to be pretty literal. So if Google has this big change, I might have a metaphor. I mean, my favorite metaphor about yes, I know this is obtuse, but like smart bidding and enhanced and now whatever version of AI they're calling everything, it's all the same. It's all the same stuff. And I always call it a Roomba in that it's amazing, but it's amazing at washing floors. It can't wash your windows. Really a problem if it runs into a pile of cat mess. Which is still, which is, hey, it's funny, it's a little snarky, but it's also pretty literal.
Yeah.
It's basically like, look, this is a tool designed for one thing. Don't try to make it do everything because it won't.
No, it won't. Yeah.
But so anyway, a lot of my public facing things are a lot more purposeful, a lot more measured, and are frankly a little bit less me.
Yeah.
But that's maybe okay.
Yeah. Did it knock your confidence in any way? Just seeing that, oh my gosh, I just, or did it just make you a lot more careful as to what you were receiving? Like said, yeah, you get more snarky about yourself. That's one clear example. But like, do you feel like you might have been tweeting a lot more if that mistake hadn't happened?
Yes, but I don't know that it knocked my confidence per se, but it definitely made me think about what I wanted. And so I actually had this conversation with someone at Advanced who was speaking about how they tweet or they LinkedIn or X or whatever. Like I have to put out content every single day. And that was me back in the day too. I had to be a part of every conversation. And I just asked this person why.
That's a
And
good
the answer was
question for
basically,
us.
because I have to. Because I have to put something out every day because people are expecting it. Like, yes, maybe, but if people are expecting content from you, wouldn't you want to sign them as consultants instead of just giving them free stuff? Wouldn't you? Isn't there to a degree that speaking all the time means that the good stuff gets lost because you're speaking at the same level?
Yeah.
And so I became a lot more, I'll say, prudent with what I put out there because this was like a fun thing. Like, ooh, I'm going to be the first one to share this and a bunch of people are going to like it. They did. And it got me some positive outcome, but having 80, 100,000 people see this and hit the little thumbs up button, it did nothing for me. It didn't do anything. Yes, halo effect, personal branding, all that jazz, but fundamentally I'm looking to build clients.
Yeah.
I wasn't a writer, I wasn't a professional speaker, I didn't get paid to do this stuff. Sure, I got invited to do more stuff and there was a halo effect around the agency and my own personal speaking life, but direct response didn't really do anything.
Interesting.
And so it taught me to be a lot more purposeful with what I share. And at the same time, now knowing that all these people are watching, which of course I knew that Google would probably see stuff. I didn't know it was literally someone's job to watch what us influencers say.
Yeah.
It made me realize that if I had a problem, I could weaponize it. If I had a challenge, speaking about kind of picking on Google account managers a little bit, but if there are some that say some really confusing information, this was before the days of Ginny Marvin, the ads liaison, or anyone like her, I could get a conversation going and change would happen faster that way than giving feedback directly to Google people.
Yeah.
And so it basically, it really taught me to use my, number one, I think if anything, it built more confidence because it made me realize like, actually, I am kind of a big deal. Like people do care what I say.
Yeah.
But it also, again, it taught me to be very purposeful about it. There are things that were just for marketing purposes or maybe just to get those little like clicks. But a lot of other things are, I could make things happen with it. I could be a lot more productive with it.
Yeah.
And if I was too snarky or too snotty or got a bad reputation, that power would be gone. So I had to be really careful with it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It wielded a power for you, in a way. And I think that's actually very interesting for a lot of people to realize because, right now people feel like it is part of their jobs to have a bit of a personal branding going on, or there are loads of consultants now, loads of freelancers. I don't know about like in the US and the UK. I feel that there's a booming. Loads of people are like, "Yep, I'm a freelancer now. Yep, I left my last company. I decided to go it out on my own." For a while, and part of that, building the reputation, there's like a long runway of just trying to just talk about what give tips and helps, and then people will say that, oh yeah, I found you off LinkedIn, I like this thing that you did. A guy, Boris Becherich, love Boris.
Love Boris.
Boris's own is teams. Like sometimes people be like, oh, I saw your meme and I thought I'd get in touch with you doing an audit, and I'm like, What? It's so weird how that connection is, which I don't think was as was what it was like, I would say, when you did that tweet.
It wasn't, but it's interesting you call out Boris and someone like him who he has. It's probably not the most polite word to use, but it's a little. He's got a shtick. He's got something that's unique about him that you know what to look for. Whereas I think of it was maybe like 2 weeks ago when someone leaked the one pager of Google pushing ads and AI out to people.
Yeah.
It wasn't like leak. It was just like, here's the sheet that they're using to sell it to agencies.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember it, but I looked through it. That sheet didn't say anything. There was nothing of
Right.
use in there. It was
Yeah.
just like, there's going to be ads in here sometime. They're going to pull
Yeah.
from some stuff, use AI. Yay.
Yeah.
Literally every single influencer in the search space had to say something about it, but there was nothing to say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
And I hate when people start doing that. Like all of a sudden, especially for me, was when Performance Max channel reporting. My brain was like, I am about to see in the picture everywhere. And I'm literally like, yeah, this is how I know you have nothing to say. Like, oh yeah, Performance channel. Have you seen the reports? And I'm like, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? No, you just want,
exactly.
it's just, oh yeah, have you seen this? Yes, I have. Okay.
Exactly. And so in that, harkening back to my own experience, that rush to be first is not always the most effective. Just because some hot piece of news comes out and everyone wants to do the old social media term of newsjacking of like, ooh, piggyback on a
Mm,
story and share your own.
mm,
Everyone forgets the share your own story part.
yeah. 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 Share your own opinion.
Yeah. And so like the channel thing and the ads and AI, like people forgot that part. And that's the most
Yeah.
important part. Is
It really
what do you
is.
think and what should I do about it?
Yes, yes. Look, we've taken a lot of learnings. This has been such a unique episode. We've not necessarily gone through any of my one-on-one questions, but I think all of them have been answered. But I will go back to those questions, like, and literally like the last one on it, just to round up that story. What's one thing that you want to leave people with about that story? What's really important? Is there a really important takeaway for people about that issue?
So I'll pull this all the way back to direct into Google Ads because this has basically been a PR episode. But in PR, in Google Ads, in life, why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish? There are so many things that I'll pick on my old team from Tenuity back a bit when they would have this routine that they'd been doing because they'd been in search for 10 years and they still did the same routine. And no one ever stopped to think like, what is the point of this?
Right.
Do I need to keep doing this? Is there a point to doing day parting analysis when smart bidding takes care of it all?
Mm,
Probably
mm,
not.
yeah.
Are you being purposeful with your time? Are you being purposeful with your effort? Are you being purposeful with your ideas? Or are you just doing something for the sake of doing it?
Yeah. Yeah. Be purposeful. Be purposeful with the content. Because I think even what your tweet was very purposeful, was something quite, because that's the first time auto apply recommendations was coming out. This is something that 100% you could have gone a lot. You don't have to say it. Your tweet sounds very tame. You could have gone a lot more like words of like, guys, are you kidding me? You're about to change our ads. You don't know what the outcome is. Advertisers, we're known for like we want the control. Until today, auto apply recommendations does not have a good reputation. That just says it all, right? It doesn't have a good reputation. Everybody will always
No.
say, turn it off, or go through all the recommendations, see which one work. Don't just let Google take over what it's going to make the changes for. So it's not like because I know like with other AI tool like PMax, for example, they have done, kudos to them. It started out a bit of a mess. They've updated it. They've changed things. They've given us a bit of things that we want. Auto apply recommendations for me is still like don't touch it. Don't touch it unless you're desperate. Really.
It's not for us. It's not for people listening to this podcast. It's for people that don't know what they're doing and just turn something on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for that fantastic story, Aaron. But we're now going to turn the limelight to our industry a bit in terms of like mistakes. And I know that we are running quite a bit of time. It's going to be like one of those nice extended episodes.
We knew this was going to happen.
We knew. We can't stop talking. What are some of the big mistakes that you think are happening right now, especially in the world in terms of like AI, that you're like, guys, you're not approaching that well at all?
People are trying to Again, getting in the metaphor world, I think of this of like having an old Honda Civic and putting a turbocharger on it, and that old Honda Civic is going to blow up because it's not ready
Yes.
for it.
Yes.
So all of these new tools, all the different bidding strategies, PMax, Search Max, all these are new tools, and they're very, very powerful. And we are trying to put them on something very, very old. So people are slapping them on to old campaign structures or slapping them onto old match types, and it's not going great. So I know we spoke about this in jest, but it's true to a degree, is that you have to build a new, more modern structure that will take a little while to learn, that will take a little while to stabilize. But for these tools to work, they need a different structure than what we had before.
Yeah.
Again, going back to my other favorite metaphor, the Roomba. Yes, the very powerful Roomba, but a lot of people are getting on their hands and knees and trying to push the Roomba around.
Yeah.
Like, no, that says to me that you're not building your structure right, you're not building guardrails correctly, you're not protecting against it, which in turn means that you're not getting the benefit from it.
Yeah. Although because I have like not the rumor, another brand. I'm always giggling at myself as to how it feels so automatic. But before I turn it on, there's so many things I need to make sure it's out of the way. Like literally, I'll take like a bean bag, put it on my couch. I'll take a rack of shoes, put it on my stairs. I'll do this, like literally, and I'll be like, okay, all right, are we ready? Okay, now
All right, the room's clean. Now you can clean it.
There's so much preparation that needs to be done. I definitely think that's what AI is like. Like, it will do the right thing, but there's some things it will just go, if you don't get it out of the way, I'm just going to give you stupid results. So,
exactly. Like thinking of AI Max, I know we're going long, but
do it, go. We have time.
Thinking of AI Max, so many people have turned it on and be like, oh, this didn't work for you. And I'm like, okay, did you use DSAs? And people were like, no, DSAs didn't make any sense for my business. And I'm like, why are you using DSA part 2 then? What are you doing?
It really is what AI Max is, DSA part 2. It is very much so.
Yeah,
it's so true.
It's just DSA that's coached on something a little bit better than just sniffing around your website.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it didn't work before, what makes you think that a new version of it's like, okay, now it's going to be great because it has AI in it? Like,
yeah.
Again, what is it trying to do? What do you want it to do?
Yeah.
Then evaluate if it's a good idea or not.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're using the same site, especially like the same functionality, DSA didn't work. You know why DSA didn't work. You didn't do anything about it. And you think you're just going to slap on a new solution because it's AI on your foundation that wasn't good. What makes you think that's going to work? It's the frustration. Yeah, that's me even calling out on our industry. That is what a big mistake, definitely. People just slap on the same product, the same landing pages, the same thing. And something that Fred, your lovely boss, has said, which I think is very true, is that he's like, landing pages are going to be a lot more important because, yeah, that's where AI is going to be getting its information on how to show your ads. So PPC, CROs especially, start working better together, start realizing what a paid search landing page should be, because that's where it's getting the ads from. And I feel also it's new, but it's also not new, because what's quality score about? One of our first things, landing page, keyword. We knew these things, but
is it a good experience for people? Yes,
yeah.
no, okay, bad. Don't, then fix it.
Yeah. You know what? We are going to that was such a fun conversation.
We could go for another hour, but
we really could. You've got to come back. We're gonna I know there's several other things that we could talk about in terms of F-ups in our careers and
what are you saying? That I screw up all the time?
Don't do this to me. Before we press record, Aaron was like, I have 3-4 examples I should give. Which one should I use? Don't make it like if I'm doing this. But generally, even for that one great example, thank you so much, Aaron, for joining the podcast today. You've given us so much to chew on, to learn about, to hopefully check ourselves on, check our clients on. And yeah, I'm sure people that was a great one for people to listen to. Before we go, a totally non-paid search, we get into that whole fun conversation, fun chat. If your PPC career were a movie, what would be the title?
we were joking about this beforehand. And I said John Wick 3 because I'm Murder the Competition, but also because I'm not the best one in the series. I actually think, okay, I'm gonna go with a different sequel.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Mighty Ducks 2.
That's such a flashback. Oh,
Yep.
I love it.
And I will tell you why, because I started in a small town. I started at in a pretty small field, not working with national clients. And then real quickly I went real big and international.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was trying to take my little small town experiences worldwide, and there was a lot of learning that came from it, but I was better because of it. And I didn't get into a fight with any Icelandic people, but I think it was that I grew up fast. And I think the kids in Mighty Ducks 2 did as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially. Oh, that's so great. I'm going to check that out. Thank you. And if people want to find out any of your snarky tweets or posts, where can people find you online?
I'm definitely most active on LinkedIn. I'm I took a little hiatus for a year and a half, but I'm going to be out there speaking a lot more. So you can find me
Great.
at a lot of conferences, a lot of blog posts. But for now, find me on LinkedIn. That's the best spot.
Amazing. Well, thank you again so much, Aaron. And yeah, that was a really, really great chat. Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for sharing that very honest and transparent, feedback and about your experience and about how it really shaped how you post now. And everybody really should go and check out Aaron's profile. He shares some really interesting information about how the industry is evolving, and he'll be doing more of that as he really now settles it at his role at Optimizer. So wish you the best of luck on that journey, Aaron. Remember, more information about the whole podcast is on podcast.ppc.live. Watch, listen to the whole episode. It was a very interesting one. Yeah, in terms of our PPC Live events, we are going to be having them. Our next one is October 22nd. So yeah, keep that in your diaries. Keep that, save the date. We're going to be, just tying some knots and, crossing some T's, dotting some I's, and just tying up, nice little bow around a few last minute plans. Plans that need to be done right before we release our tickets. But yeah, go to ppc.live, subscribe to our newsletter to be first to know about early bird ticket sales. And yeah, make sure you're one of the first to get them, because it's going to be a great one. It's going to be our last one of the year. It's going to be a party. It's going to be a celebration. Most of them aren't they? It's either a summer barbecue party or a start of the year party or my birthday month party. You never know. Just come and enjoy amazing knowledge, paid search knowledge being shared amongst our industry. And before I leave you, I'd love to share that, I do some coaching now, it's really just helping PPC experts to get into the mindset of being a success in the industry. So yeah, if you go to themarketinganu.com, so that's themarketinganu.com, you'll be able to see all the details about, how to book me. You get a free half-hour session in terms of a discovery call to figure out what you need, what you're looking for. And yeah, we'll go on from there. Hope you have enjoyed this show, and I look forward to bringing more PPC F-ups and triumphs next week. Thank you. Bye.